It was a clear Saturday morning when Jason Miller, 36, and his wife Beth noticed something strange through their kitchen window. Their quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind of place where lawns were trimmed with military precision, had erupted into chaos. Neighbors were throwing clothes into duffel bags, slamming car doors, shouting at each other to hurry. Engines roared, tires screeched. Jason stepped outside, coffee still in hand. His pulse spiked when he saw the Henderson family, the most composed, slow-moving neighbors he knew, sprinting with their kids toward their SUV, not even locking the front door. Down the street, people were running, not walking toward their cars. Some didn't even bother to grab shoes. And then, a sound. A deep, low rumble overhead. Evacuation attempt. Jason didn't know what was going on, but he knew the pattern. When crowds panic like this, you move. He grabbed Beth and their 8-year-old daughter, Emily. "We're leaving, now." They piled into Jason's old F-150 and pulled onto Oak Ridge Road, the only route leading out of town. But just a few miles down, something strange happened. Cars that had fled earlier were now coming back. Drivers were white as paper, some crying, others yelling for people to turn around. Traffic began to thicken, and then it stopped entirely. That's when they heard it, the deafening chop of helicopter blades overhead. A voice, amplified and metallic, echoed across the rooftops. "Attention residents of BROOKRIDGE, remain calm. An unidentified biological event has occurred. Return to your homes immediately. Do not attempt to leave the area. This is for your safety." Jason felt his stomach twist. Soldiers appeared ahead, blocking the highway. Humvees, sandbag barricades, rifles at the ready. And then the sky split open. The first strike? It looked like a meteor, a burning rock hurtling toward the ground. It slammed into the far side of town, sending a column of dust into the sky. Before anyone could process it, the air trembled. Two F-35 fighter jets screamed overhead, banking sharply toward Brookridge. Jason gripped the steering wheel. That's not a rescue. Bombs fell. Blocks away, buildings erupted in fireballs. The shockwave hit the road like a giant's fist, shoving cars sideways. People screamed, running from their vehicles into the open fields. But the jets turned again, unleashing another wave of bombs on the road itself. The run to higher ground. Beth spotted it, an old abandoned elementary school perched on a hill. "Jason, the school, now." They ran. Bombs thundered behind them, flinging dirt and debris into the air. Emily stumbled twice, Jason yanking her up both times. Heat from the explosions chased them up the hill like a wave. At the top, a rusted metal door marked bunker access came into view. Jason slammed his fists against it, shouting. Seconds later, the lock clicked. A hand pulled them inside. The door closed just as a bomb detonated overhead. The lights flickered. The world outside went silent. Underground life. Inside, they found themselves in a Cold War-era fallout shelter, shelves lined with canned food, boxes of blankets, stacks of dusty water jugs. Jason asked the man who'd opened the door how long they'd been hiding. The man didn't answer. He just shook his head, muttered something about orders, and left through another hallway. Jason never saw him again. The Millers claimed one small corner of the shelter. That night, Beth realized her palm was bleeding, a cut from closing the heavy door. It was shallow, but in the back of her mind one thought gnawed at her. What if this infection is real? Jason locked the door with a steel chain. "We wait it out, no matter how long it takes." Day 90, the strain. Life underground was slow death in disguise. The water was drawn from a muddy underground cistern. The food, expired but edible, was repetitive, tasteless and dwindling. They played cards, hide and seek, read books until the pages blurred. Emily asked every few days, "When can we go home?" Jason always gave the same answer, "When it's safe." But outside, through the narrow ventilation duct, there was only silence and ash. Day 297, the thief. Emily opened a can of beans one evening and froze. It was empty. Jason inspected the shelves. 12 cans had been chewed open from the back. The loss was devastating, 2 weeks' worth of food gone. That night, the thief returned a rat, darting between shadows. Jason lunged with a knife, but it was too fast. Beth's reflexes saved them. She caught the creature mid-sprint. The victory lasted seconds. The rat had knocked over their oil lamp. Flames raced across the floor. Jason burned his hand trying to smother it. Beth ripped down a curtain to beat the flames. The fire died, but the smoke began drifting up the ventilation shaft. If anyone outside was watching, Their location was now exposed. Day 300. The Shadow. The next morning, Jason and Beth went outside to scrub the soot from the vent cover, leaving Emily inside. When they didn't return quickly, Emily climbed onto a stool to peek outside with a reflective mirror. She saw her parents near the tree line and something else. A tall, dark figure, human in shape but moving wrong. Too fast, too smooth. It glided between the trees, heading straight toward them. Emily screamed for them to look out, but they were too far to hear. Panic erased her fear. She pushed the bunker door open. The air outside was dry, scorched, and smelled of something that had been dead for a long time. And that's when she realized this wasn't about a virus. Something else had come to Brookridge. Post-incident notes. No official government statement was ever made regarding the Brookridge containment. Satellite images show the town reduced to rubble within 3 days of the first bombing. Radiation levels remain abnormally high, yet no nuclear devices were reported used. Survivor Jason Miller described the shadow seen by his daughter as taller than any man, but moving like liquid smoke. Whether the attack was an attempt to contain an infection, eliminate an invading force, or erase something mankind wasn't supposed to see remains unknown.